Hello students, today we will talk about surface chemistry. As the surface chemistry topic is not included in your 12th board syllabus, but that topic is important for your competitive exam like JEE, NEET. Okay, so first of all I will tell about the subtopic of surface chemistry. Initially we will talk about the basic terminology of surface chemistry, the phenomenon of adsorption and absorption. Initially, we will discuss about the adsorption and absorption. We will discuss the point of difference between adsorption and absorption. Later, we will discuss about the mechanism of adsorption. Okay. After the mechanism of adsorption, we will talk about the types of adsorption. There are two types of adsorption: physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. After that, there are several factors which affect on the extent of adsorption, rate of adsorption. That factors are temperature, pressure, nature of adsorbate, nature of adsorbent. We will discuss all that factors in detail, and lastly we will talk about the application of adsorption. Okay. So this is all about the adsorption. Now after that, in this chapter we will discuss about the catalysis. As we know the basic terminology of catalyst, for what purpose the catalysts are used in a chemical reaction, as we know all that concept. In this surface chemistry, we will discuss about the theory of catalysis and the type of catalyst. There are several types of catalyst: auto catalyst, induced catalyst, positive catalyst, negative catalyst, enzyme catalyst, size selective catalyst. We'll discuss all that type of catalyst in the chapter. Then after the catalysis concept, one topic is there, that is colloidal solution. How the colloidal solution are prepared, we'll discuss that methods. There are two types of method to prepare the colloidal solution: dispersion solution and dispersion method and condensation method. Several dispersion methods are there, like mechanical dispersion method, electrical dispersion method, peptidization process. Then after that we'll talk about the condensation method to prepare the colloidal solution. Then lastly we will talk about the purification of colloidal solution. So several methods are used to purify the colloidal solution, that are dialysis, electrodialysis, ultrafiltration, ultracentrifugation. Lastly, we'll talk about the mechanical properties, optical properties, electrical properties of this colloidal solution and uses of colloidal solution. At the end of this chapter, we'll talk about the emulsion and gel concept. Okay, so these are the subtopics of the surface chemistry. Now in today's lecture, we will discuss about the basic terminology of surface chemistry. Adsorption. First of all, I will tell one simple example of adsorption in our day-to-day life. Suppose our classroom is closed for 2 to 3 days, and when we observe the blackboard in the classroom after 2 to 3 days, it is observed that some dust particle get attract and get accumulate on the surface of that blackboard. So that phenomenon is nothing but what? Adsorption. So we can say the definition of adsorption is what? The phenomenon of attracting and retaining the molecule of substance on the surface of another substance rather than bulk, called as adsorption phenomenon. Okay, hope you are getting this definition. I already told you the example of adsorption. The dust particle which get attract and retain on the surface of that blackboard, it is the example of adsorption. As we know the so many examples of adsorption in our day-to-day life. Okay, the dust particle which get accumulate on the surface of that adsorbent, we call that dust particle are adsorbate. So what is adsorbate? The substance which get attract and retain on the another substance, that substance called as a adsorbate, and the blackboard surface we have to say it is adsorbent. So what is adsorbent? The surface on whose surface adsorption takes place called as adsorbent. So here we discuss about the adsorption, adsorbate, adsorbent concept. One more example is there. As we know the charcoal, and on that charcoal surface so many gases like oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine, ammonia, they get adsorbed on its surface. So here the oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine, ammonia, these gases are nothing but the adsorbate, and your charcoal surface is nothing but what your adsorbent. So this is all about the adsorption concept. Let's talk about the absorption. I will give one simple example for absorption. If you take in consider a cushion or a sponge, and when that sponge or cushion come in contact with water, then water goes into the bulk of that sponge or cushion, then we have to say that is the absorption. So we can say absorption is the bulk phenomenon where substance uniformly distributed throughout the solid. So this is the absorption phenomenon. Let's talk about the sorption phenomenon. Sorption means what? What happen? In some process both the adsorption as well as absorption takes place. Means adsorbate get adsorbed on the adsorbent, and also it goes into the bulk of adsorbent. That means both adsorption and absorption takes place simultaneously. That is nothing but sorption phenomenon. After that we will discuss one more definition, occlusion. What is meant by occlusion? Whenever the gaseous molecules get adsorbed on the metal surface, that phenomenon is called as occlusion. Whenever there is adsorption of gases on the metal surface, that phenomenon is occlusion. Then one more important definition is there, desorption. Exact reverse of adsorption, that is removal of adsorbate from the surface of adsorbent. Reversible process of adsorption, that is desorption process. So here we talk all the definitions of this basic concept. Now after that we'll talk about the difference between adsorption and absorption. We are familiar about the adsorption and absorption. Let's talk the point of difference between the adsorption and absorption. As we initially talked, the adsorption is the surface phenomenon. There is retaining of adsorbate on the adsorbent, so it is surface phenomenon. In case of absorption, the adsorbate goes into the bulk of that adsorbent, so it is bulk phenomenon. It occurs throughout the body. This is the first point of difference. Okay. Now second point of difference, as there is attraction between adsorbate and adsorbent in case of adsorption. As we discussed in the adsorption, the adsorbate retain on the surface of adsorbent, so force of attraction is responsible to bind that adsorbate and adsorbent, and during that process heat is released. So we have to say the second point of difference is adsorption is exothermic phenomenon, that is heat is evolved. Okay. Now no such heat is evolved in the absorption phenomenon. So this is the second point of difference. As we discussed this first, it is the surface, absorption it is the bulk phenomenon. Second point of difference, adsorption is exothermic, absorption neither exothermic nor endothermic, that is no heat evolved or absorbed. Then third point of difference, adsorption phenomenon is depend on the temperature of surface and the pressure of gas, while the absorption phenomenon is not depend on temperature and pressure. This is the third point of difference between the adsorption and absorption. Now last point of difference, initially the rate of adsorption is higher, but as time goes on the rate of adsorption is decreases, but the rate of absorption is remains same throughout the process. So these are the 4 points of difference between adsorption and absorption. Okay. Now let's talk the next subtopic, mechanism of adsorption. How this adsorption takes place. That is the mechanism of adsorption. So to explain the mechanism of adsorption, we have to consider the molecule of adsorbent. Two different molecule of adsorbent. One molecule present in the bulk of that adsorbent and another molecule present at the surface of adsorbent. If you observe these molecules which is present in the bulk, if you observe this molecule present in the bulk, that bulk molecule surrounded by number of other molecules from all side, and all that molecules attract that bulk molecule. Okay, and if you take in consider the net force on that bulk molecule, resultant force on that bulk molecule, that resultant force is 0. Okay, and if you take in consider the surface molecules, that surface molecules attracted by the molecules which are present from the downward side, no molecules present from the upward side. That means the molecules which present from the downward side, that molecules, as this is the surface molecules, this molecule attracted by the other molecules which is present in the downward side. That means as no molecules present from the upward side, then as because of that on that surface molecule somewhat imbalance force is there, and because of that imbalance force, that surface molecule slightly pull downward, and to balance that force, that surface molecule attract the another molecules which is present above that surface, and that because of that, that another molecules, other substance molecules get attracted and hold on the surface of that substance, and that is nothing but the adsorption. Here we complete the mechanism of adsorption. Let's talk about the types of adsorption. There are two types of adsorption: physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Let's talk about the physical adsorption and chemical adsorption simultaneously. We'll discuss the point of difference for the physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. So first point of difference, as we know, in both cases the adsorbate get adsorbed on the adsorbent, but in case of physical adsorption, the van der Waals force is responsible to hold that adsorbate on the adsorbent, while in case of chemical adsorption, chemical bond is responsible to hold the adsorbate on the adsorbent. That is the first point of difference. Now second point of difference, as we talk, the adsorption is exothermic process, heat is released, but in case of adsorption low amount of heat is released. That's why we have to say the heat of adsorption of physisorption is low, and that heat of adsorption is in between 20 to 40 kilojoule per mole, while in case of chemical adsorption high amount of heat is released. That means heat of adsorption is high, near about 80 to 240 kilojoule per mole. 80 to 240 kilojoule per mole heat is released, so heat of adsorption is high for chemical adsorption. Let's talk the third point of difference between the adsorption and physisorption and chemisorption. First of all, we will discuss about the chemisorption. As we know, in chemisorption there is chemical bond between adsorbate and adsorbent molecules. As there is chemical bond formation, so we have to say chemical compound is formed on the surface of adsorbent in case of chemisorption. No such compound is formed in case of physisorption. This is the third point of difference. Now next point of difference, the physisorption is reversible process. That means in case of physisorption, once adsorbate get adsorbed on the adsorbent, that adsorbate may leave that adsorbent surface, that means desorption takes place, so it is reversible process. But in case of chemisorption it is not possible. Once chemical bond is formed between adsorbate and adsorbent, that adsorbate not leave that adsorbent surface, so that is the irreversible process. Next point of difference, the effect of temperature on the rate of physisorption and chemisorption. First of all, we'll discuss about the physisorption. Okay, we'll discuss this. As the graphical presentation is there, we will talk this point of difference later. I will tell here in short about the effect of temperature on the physisorption and chemisorption. One graph is there. If you observe that graph nature, in case of physisorption, that graph nature is like this. On y-axis x upon m is there. X upon m, it indicates the extent of physical adsorption, and on x-axis temperature is there. Okay, if you observe the nature of graph, that nature of graph is like this. As temperature increases, x upon m is value decreases. That means physisorption decreases with increase in temperature. Why that physisorption decreases with increase in temperature? Because as we increase the temperature, that adsorbate molecules may leave the surface of adsorbent, because that van der Waals force weaken because of increase in temperature. That's why graph nature is like this. If you talk about the chemisorption, the chemisorption increases with increase in temperature and then decreases. Same graph is there. On y-axis x upon m, and on x-axis temperature is there. With increase in temperature, extent of chemical adsorption is increases up to certain temperature. That means with increase in temperature, there is a chemical bond formation between adsorbate and adsorbent. So rate of chemisorption is increases, but after certain temperature, that extent of adsorption is decreases with increase in temperature, because that increase in temperature may broken the bond between adsorbate and adsorbent. That's why that chemisorption rate is decreases with increase in temperature. So this is the fifth point of difference between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Let's talk the next point of difference. For physisorption, we have to say it is non-specific. That means there is adsorption of oxygen on the charcoal. There may be adsorption of nitrogen on the charcoal. There may be adsorption of ammonia on the charcoal. Not specific nature. And chemisorption, it required specificity. That means there must be a chemical bond formation between adsorbate and adsorbent. Then and then that chemical adsorption takes place. So it is specific in nature. Okay. Last point of difference. The physisorption form multilayer while chemisorption form unilayer. If you talk about the physisorption, suppose first layer is formed. In case of physisorption, if first layer is formed, then somewhat imbalance force offered by that surface molecules of adsorbent, and to balance that force, there may be a adsorption of second layer. There may be adsorption of third layer. That means physisorption for multi-layer, while in case of chemisorption, only unilayer is formed. Once adsorbate form the chemical bond between that chemical bond with the adsorbent, that adsorbent surface force get balanced. So there is formation of one layer. So it is unilayer, while in case of physisorption it is multi-layer. So here we discuss, in this lecture we discuss all about the basic terminology of adsorption and absorption. We discuss here the types of adsorption. Now in next lecture we will talk about the factor affecting on the rate of adsorption. Hope you are getting this concept. If you have a problem, if you have a doubt, just put the message.